North Korea's despotic leader Kim Jong-un has warned a great war is on the horizon after increasing tensions with the U.S. President Trump this week sent the USS Carl Vinson to carry out exercises in the Korean peninsula, an overt demonstration against the totalitarian regime. Acknowledging the threat, North Korea's state media wrote, "If the U.S. provokes the DPRK even a bit, its army and people will start a great war of justice for national reunification without hesitation." Noting that the U.S. warmongers hysterically try to ignite a war by mobilizing nuclear strategic assets without any measure to deal with the consequences to be entailed. The U.S. has now gone seriously mad. It is mulling frightening the DPRK and achieving something with nuclear strategic bombers, nuclear carriers, etc. However, the army and people of the DPRK will never be browbeaten by such bluffing. Both China and Russia are watching on nervously as they are likely to receive floods of refugees should the conflict escalate to full-blown military engagement. Russian tanks were also dispatched and reached the land border with North Korea. Following a failed missile test last Sunday, fears that North Korea is preparing a sixth nuclear bomb test have been growing. Kim Jong-un appears determined to achieve nuclear armament, posing a threat to mainland U.S. What is ridiculous is that the U.S. makes last-ditch efforts by mobilizing its vassal forces in the war drills to stifle the DPRK, North Korean media said. The U.S. seeks to occupy the DPRK by the concerted efforts of Japan and South Korea, intentionally provoking the latter and driving the situation on the Korean peninsula to the brink of a war. South Korea and Japan are also gearing up for a conflict as war-mad Kim continues to lash out at the key U.S. allies. Despite this, Chinese President Xi Jinping called for Donald Trump to exercise restraint when dealing with North Korea. The official broadcaster CCTV quoted Xi as telling Trump that China strongly opposed North Korea's nuclear weapons program, which are in violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions, and hoped all parties will exercise restraint and avoid aggravating the situation on the Korean peninsula. The Trump administration has warned that all options, including a military strike, are on the table to halt North Korea's ambitions of developing a nuclear-tipped missile that could reach the U.S. mainland. The phone call, which took place Monday morning Beijing time, came amid speculation that Pyongyang could hold a sixth nuclear test this week. North Korea often marks significant dates by displaying military capability, and South Korean officials say there's a chance the country will conduct a nuclear test or a major missile launch around the founding anniversary of its military on Tuesday. Trump has pressed Xi to exert greater pressure against North Korea, given China's status as the country's sole economic lifeline and major ally. Monday's call is the second time that the two leaders have spoken by telephone since meeting in Florida earlier this month. Trump also spoke Monday with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and they agreed to urge North Korea to refrain from what Abe called provocative actions.